Welcome back, international students. It's Sara Parrott here with part 2 of our Visa session. In this video, I'll help you better understand your immigration documents. In general, when we refer to your immigration documents, we're talking about your passport bio page, your visa, also inside your passport, your Form I-20, and your I-94. Later on in your F1 status, if you're offered employment, you may be issued a card with your Social Security number. First, let's discuss your passport. As you know, your passport is a document issued by your home country that officially lists your country of citizenship, full name, and other biographical data. It's absolutely necessary to maintain an unexpired passport at all times. In fact, your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months in the future, whenever you're inside the US. So check your expiration date and make plans to start the renewal process about a year before it expires. You might already realize that your passport is the most important document to have on you while you're outside your home country, but too many people use it as their main source of identity verification. This isn't a good idea. It's just too easy to get lost or stolen. So keep your passport in a safe place and use a North Carolina driver's license or state ID to prove your identity, unless your passport is explicitly needed for some official purpose. Within your passport is your F1 visa. This allows you to travel to the United States and request entry into the country for a specific purpose, that of being a full-time student. Did you catch that? The purpose of the visa is to request entry into the US. It doesn't actually prove or maintain your status once you're inside the country. That is done through your I-94 and I-20. So that means it is possible for your visa to expire while you're in the US, as long as your I-94 and I-20 are still valid. It's just very important to renew your visa prior to any re-entry if you've left the US with an expired visa. Now let's talk about your I-94. Each time you enter the US, you'll present your visa and I-20 to the Officer with Customs and Border Protection, or CBP. Then when they grant your entrance, they'll issue you an electronic I-94. This shows what class of admission you have into the United States. For anyone who enters on a tourist visa, their I-94 says they're in B1 tourist status. For F1 students, it's important to check your I-94 with each entry into the United States to make sure they've granted you F1 status. That's what will allow you to study full-time at Davidson College. Your admit until date is DS, which means you're permitted to remain in the US throughout your duration of status, which goes back to the validity of your I-20. The I-94 is issued electronically, so visit cbp.gov/I-94. Type in your name and biographical information, then print your I-94. Here you can also view your travel history, which may be helpful for your foreign national tax information for business services. But the I-94 is what is part of your immigration documentation. Finally, along with your passport bio page, visa, and I-94, your I-20 completes your immigration documentation. Your Form I-20 is a legal document issued by Davidson College that shows that you've been granted admission to the college and that you are otherwise eligible for F1 status. You may initially use your I-20 to obtain your F1 visa, but you'll also use it as evidence to enter the US for the first time as early as 30 days before your program. Then it shows that you're maintaining your status throughout your program of study. Your I-20 may be updated throughout your program to reflect a change of major or CPT authorization. Each time an I-20 is updated, read it carefully to understand the changes and sign page 1. By signing your I-20, you are agreeing to fulfill the terms of your F1 status. So check with an ISP staff member if you have any questions or concerns about what's listed on your I-20. Be sure to save for your own records every I-20 ever issued to you. Copies of your I-20s will actually be required for future immigration processes in the United States. You'll notice I said your I-20 is used to re-enter the US throughout your program. Specifically, when a returning student enters the United States, the CBP officer will check page 3 of your I-20 to see if it's been signed by a DSO. That's me, Thomas, or Carol. That section is the travel endorsement section and certifies that you are still a student and are continuing your program of study. Each signature is valid for 1 year, So before you leave the US for vacation or study abroad, check the validity of your travel endorsement and ask a DSO for a new signature if needed. The last document I'll mention here is your Social Security card. While it's not an immigration document, it is a useful part of your records while in the US. The Social Security number, or SSN, is issued to every US citizen at birth or naturalization. It is also used to non-immigrants, that's you, only with proof of an eligible job offer. So while many businesses, such as banks and cell phone companies, may ask for an SSN to set you up for contracts in the US, you're not eligible for an SSN unless you're working on campus, or later if you're pursuing an authorized internship or training opportunity. If you're working on campus, you can request an SSN support letter from ISP. Then you can visit the Social Security Administration with this letter and your immigration documents only after you have been in the US for at least 10 days. Once your SSN is issued to you, the number is yours for life. Take care of it to protect the card and the number, since this number, in combination with your name and address, can be used by scammers to take advantage of you. These are your immigration documents while you're in the United States. It's important to understand their purpose and how to maintain them.